Thanks to all those who requested it, we have the Taurus TH10. That's right, Taurus's first 10 millimeter. It's a lot like the TH45. How's it feel in 10 mil? We'll find out. Coming up, you'll see my absolute first shots through the gun. We'll do a full magazine plus one to see how it runs that way. Take it over to the what's for dinner table to see what it eats. Then the spinner for sights and trigger control, followed by some practical accuracy, and then my concluding thoughts. Coming up next on GB Here we go, 10 mil time. Got our target out there, 22-ish yards away. It's a C-zone target, just so I got something to aim at. Hopefully it goes well. First 10 rounds through the gun, I kept the factory backstrap on there. Just want to get a feel for it. 10 rounds of Federal Champion, I think it was. I don't remember, but it's 180 grain Federal ammunition. That'll be the ball ammo for most of this, and I'm going to do this first shot in double action. Not bad. You know, I wasn't sure, thinking this might not be comfortable to shoot. It's authoritative, and I'm missing, but I'm not having a bad time, and that's important for the first shots. And you know, those kind of grouped fairly decently too. That's interesting. You know, and I'm sure you 10 mil guys have shot some 10 mil guns that just aren't any fun. You have it and say, okay, well that's good. Now I know if I ever face a polar bear wearing level 4 plates that I've got something to tickle his belly. But maybe it's this load. Maybe I'll regret saying all these things as the video goes on. Let's find out. Full magazine plus one. Had it decocked. Love that right side magazine release. So much quicker. And let's see how the gun runs. Fully stuffed with 10, or it's a total of 16 rounds, so 15 plus one of Federal 180. I definitely threw that last one. That was all my fault. But as you guys can see on the target camera there, that actually stayed together pretty well. Feeling a little bit of the beat on my thumb knuckle. But it's, you know, aside from a lot of percussion, it's not too disturbing to shoot. Next, we'll see what it eats at What's for Dinner. It's that time again. Thanks to Ammo Squared supporters, our patrons, and a bunch of leftovers from when I revealed the 10 mil Banshee for a magazine article. It's What's for Dinner time. We're going from 155 grain up to 200 grain. You'll notice most of these have a different shape, overall length, ogive in different locations, etc. The test is 3 rounds to see, does it feed from side lock? Will it cycle and feed another round of the same type? And does it lock open on empty? We'll also look for any notable point of impact shifts. And if you're curious about where to find any of this stuff, check the pinned comment over at GBGunsDepot.com. I will link to sources if I can find it. I admit I've had some of this ammo for several years. We're back 7 yards from our target. Pushing record this time. Those are 2-inch circles. Just kind of a general aiming point, but give us an idea. Starting off with our lightest load, this is from Double Tap. This is their 155 grain lead-free solid copper jacket hollow point. And I'm gonna do all of these with the double action first shot. See if I can't learn that double action. That was peppery. Gotta say, and hopefully you guys are seeing it, the traction on this grip is working really well. Even though I'm getting a lot of muzzle rise, the gun is flipping up, it's not breaking out of my grip. That's just my wrist trying to not get detonated. Next up, Hornady Custom 180 grain. A few years back when we did a 13 load test through 3 different 10 mil barrels, that's over at GBGunsDepot.com. Looking to see what gained what from velocity. This is the only one that kept getting faster out of longer barrels. It is a spicy boy. Oh yeah. I think I saw a fireball too. Yep, definitely a fireball. That stuff's punchy. Not painful to shoot. I don't think I'd shoot it all day, but it certainly performed. And as I said in other tests, I've seen that stuff to be real 10 mil. Next, we have some Remington bonded 180 grain BJ HP, everyone's favorite type of HP, for circle 3. This is softer. Very thunderous though. Tell you what, there's no doubting if you've just fired something with this stuff. Next up, some S&B 180 grain full metal jacket. This should be a nice break from the wrist breaking. Circle number 4. Still authoritative. But grouping really nicely. Now, you guys don't know this because you're watching this probably on a separate week, but I'm filming this right after having filmed the TH45, and I find I'm shooting much better with this 10 mil. Is it because they're practically the same gun and I've learned it more this time, and I'm familiar with the platform? Or the recoil is making me hold on and pay attention more, so I'm a better shooter? I'm curious if you guys watch both videos and tell me if there's a difference. Now we have some Remington Golden Saber 180 grain BJ HP. 2 BJs in one video. Circle 5. This is hotter. Also shooting pretty nice. I'm curious where the Taurus haters, or when the Taurus haters are going to chime in, because so far, pretty impressed. Now another double tap load. This is the 180 grain bonded defense jacketed hollow point for circle 6. I'm not having as much trouble with the double action first shot on this one. Of course, I'm only halfway done. Pretty nice. I don't know. You know, at first I was thinking and kind of laughing, Taurus is an affordable gun. 10 mil is expensive stuff, specialty application stuff. Can those two go together? This is looking pretty good. Now we have also from Double Tap the 200 grain controlled expansion. That brass sure took a while to hit me. Just checking to see if that's a bald eagle. Sometimes we get bald eagle visitors. It's one of the nice things about being in the Northwest. Only have 2 mags, that's why I'm pausing every. Next, the Spirit Gold Dot 200 grain. We're up into the heavy guys now. Nice. Tell you, the ejection is also really kicking these cases the heck out of here. They're getting some airtime. I am still getting, in fact, my pinky is now a little pink down there. A little bit of, I think it's frame bite. It's not trigger slap, but I had this on the TH45 as well. That's what started all this. It's like with the gun rocking, my pinky is slipping off the trigger and getting kind of pinched down there. Next is the double tap 190 grain equalizer. I believe this is the stuff that has 2 projectiles in each case. We'll find out if it makes a difference on this. Circle 9. If the group looks wild, that's because there's 2 projectiles. Yeah, this is it. They stay together pretty tightly at 7 yards anyways. And our last load is the controlled expansion 200 grain. Different, I believe, from the other one that we had. Make sure I'm not doubling up here. Nope, we did load that. Pause while I fix this. And I'm back. Sorry about that little mix up there. Got the 180 grain double tap FMJ match. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of it to do my group with it, so we might as well shoot these 3. Not bad. So it looks like the TH10 has no problems eating things. So let's head over to the spinner and see how she does there. That is our 6-inch Titan Great Outdoors spinner target. I'm back here about 13 yards away. Don't worry, I'll leave you zoomed in to watch. Use this target for sights and trigger control because it's a small target at distance. As I hit it, it starts moving. The harder I hit it, haha, 10 mil, the faster it moves and the harder it becomes to hit it again if I want to knock it over the top. Requires timing, well-placed shots, hence sights and trigger control. First shot in double action, we're back to that Federal. It is American Eagle 180 grain. I verified while I reloaded. Got 8 rounds here. Wow, that was almost a two rounds over the top. If I could hit it again. I'm flinching. Well, we saw a definite demonstration of 10mm energy. That really moved that. I got excited. I also started to flinch a little bit because while it's not painful, it is still 10mm, and as a 9mm shooter, I'm not accustomed to it. That's something you got to think about when you move to rounds like this. But timing the shots was easy. The sights, though nothing particularly fancy, there's nothing wrong with them either. The group on there is all together. In fact, 3 of them in the same spot, one of them a little bit high, airing slightly left, which happens from squeezing my hand, something I do on guns that are too small for me, and something that I do when I'm anticipating recoil. That's shooter error. But the gun, fully capable. That was easy. I'd say it'd be fun, but it's still 10mm recoil. I think if I got more accustomed to it, I could probably come out here and just spin that thing all day long. Now let's do some practical accuracy. For practical accuracy, I have 5 more rounds of that Federal American Eagle 180 grain back at 7 yards from a 1-inch square. That square there. See how we do. I'm going to try my darndest to not let recoil get me, but I am going to start in double action. That was me. It's always shot number 4. Tied it in with shot 5. I'm pretty happy with that group. After shot thoughts on the Taurus TH10. I think we've just proven that while it might be rich man's ammo, it doesn't have to be a rich man's gun to shoot well. I'm pretty pleased with those groups. I had some personal learning and growth to do while shooting it that I imagine many of you would have as well, and that is, while the recoil doesn't necessarily hurt, it does take some extra energy out of you and some extra concentration or mitigation techniques. I'm sure there's better form than what I use. I'm mostly a 9mm shooter, so that lets me get a little lazy with form sometimes. If I were to hit up Thunder Ranch or go to a course running one of these, I'm sure they would be all over me about form. I'm also sure I'm be pretty tired by the end of a couple days. But with that said, I'm impressed. The double action is definitely heavy. It's not quite predictable, but it felt decently smooth. I don't know why my hat is so crooked in these angles, but I swear to you, it's not crooked. Anyways, gun shot pretty nicely. The single action is predictable enough. The reset's good. Yeah, this double action's smoother than the one on the TH45 was. Interesting. That could be a quality control thing. That could be just these sample sizes of one. Something you got to remember in all reviews is it is a sample size of one and one speaker or voice on giving you the opinion on it. But this felt pretty good. Interesting that I did already lose a little bit of finish on there, but at this price point, it's a working man's gun that's going to go to work, and when things go to work, they get dirty. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.